doing a good job. So we should love Mom the way Mom loves us, with affirmation. And secondly, and yes, that was the first point, moving right along. Please listen fast. We have with affirmation, and secondly, with affection. Again, the definition from dictionary.com. This is fond attachment, devotion, or love. This is emotion, feeling, sentiment. And I know us fellas have a real problem with getting in touch with our feelings and our sentimental side, but moms don't have this problem. Moms are able to love with affection, and it just comes to them naturally. I like to say my mom always showed me affection. No matter how ugly I was, my mom would always show me that affection. I don't care how embarrassing it is for children, you should always hug and kiss your mama. It doesn't matter who's watching or who thinks it might be embarrassing. Your mom is more valuable than whoever it is that thinks you shouldn't be doing that. You should always show your mom affection. I believe that husbands should show their wives affection. I don't think there's a thing in the world wrong with holding hands with your wife. Now, I'm talking about the confines of holy matrimony here. I'm not talking about girlfriend or being engaged or on the playground. I'm talking about husband and wife. There's nothing wrong with putting your arm around your wife in church. It is a natural affection, and it is a way of showing that you love your wife. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you a quick story. Lauren and I had been married months. We had not been married 1 year yet. And we were raising funds to go to Guatemala to plant the church in Guatemala. And we went to this church and we presented the ministry. And after church, there was dinner on the grounds. And they had a volleyball field, volleyball court, if you will, outside of the church. And so a lot of us got, on the court. And some of the young people started hitting the ball around. And my wife and I got on one team. And she passed the ball to me. And I hit it over. And we scored a point. And we went, yes! And we walked up to each other and high-fived and pecked on the cheek after the high five. And I turned and I looked, and that preacher stood up and started walking around the volleyball court with really fast steps. And I thought, oh boy, here it comes. He comes all the way around the court and says, come here. I walked up to him and said, yes, sir. He says, we don't kiss in church. Now, in my younger days, my tongue would really get me in trouble. I had a problem with my mouth. And now that I'm older and more mature, I don't ever have that problem anymore. But when I was younger, I did. And I didn't think anything about it, and I just reacted and responded, and I looked up to the preacher, and I said, well, Pastor, I'm sorry, I got married in church. And when the preacher told me, you may kiss the bride, I just took it at heart. Now listen to me, I'm not saying PG-13, rated R movie type stuff, when you show an affection to your wife. I'm just saying, hey, fellas, we can hold hands. We can show her that we love her in a physical way without it being something that nobody else can see. And I just believe that we ought to do it. And if we're not careful, somebody else may want to do it for us. We should love Mom with affection. In fact, the Bible says, in John chapter 13 and verse 34, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. So how do we love Mom? We love Mom exactly the same way Mom loved us, with affirmation, with affection. Number 3, with attention. Now this one is difficult. This one is hard. The dictionary.com, once again, concentration of the mind on a single object or thought. Observant care, consideration. Let me give you another example. I have walked into my home and I have seen, I remember walking into my home and seeing my wife stirring a pot with one hand, washing and rinsing dishes with the other hand, picking her foot up and opening the refrigerator door to get something out of the other hand, and juggling all these things. Well, that may be an exaggeration, but I've seen some amazing things when I walk home, and a lot of stuff is going on with the blenders and the microwaves and all of these things that my wife is juggling all at the same time. And I see a little boy walk in and say, "Hey, Mommy, look!" And she drops everything. And she turns and she looks and she says, "Yes, baby, what is it?" And she stops paying attention to 500,072 different things that she's got going on, and she looks him in the eye and she pays attention. And it doesn't matter how ridiculous whatever it is that he wants to know or wants her to see or wants to do, she pays attention to it. You know, my mom would always have the time to drop everything and just pay attention to me. My poor mother had to learn football when my brother was growing up because he was a big fan of football. And my mom could tell you about the I formation and Emmitt Smith and the H-back blocking for him and Michael Irvin, wide receiver, running his button hooks and all of that stuff, and Troy Aikman as he ran. My mom could talk about that stuff because she paid attention to what my brother liked. And my poor mother, I grew up, I didn't want to have anything to do with football. I liked basketball. So there my poor mother is, having to learn a completely new language, a completely different language about a completely different sport and different type of athlete. And I can remember to this day my mom talking about John Stockton and Karl Malone against Michael Jordan in the finals. In fact, I can smell the popcorn as she would pay attention to what I wanted and would sit on a bed with me and watch basketball. She didn't like basketball. She doesn't like basketball. She pays attention to what I like. How about this? How about we pay attention to what Mom likes? How about we pay attention and visit Mom more than once a year? How about we take the time to go get Mom and take Mom to church more than on Mother's Day? How about we pay attention to Mom and not only pay attention to the things that she wants, but pay attention to the things that she says? You see, we need to listen to Mom. And that doesn't mean that as a 42-year-old man, my mom's going to call me on the phone and tell me, "I want you to do this and this and this week," and I have to go do it. That's not what I'm talking about. But I will answer the phone. And I will listen to my mom's thoughts and my mom's ideas. You see, we have to pay attention and listen. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 1. Proverbs 13 verse 1 says, "A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke." We need to at least show respect and listen to what our parents have to say to us, even if we will not or cannot do whatever it is that they're requesting. How do you love Mom? You have to love Mom with affirmation. You have to love Mom with affection. You have to love Mom with attention. The same way that Mom loves us, we need to turn it right back around and love Mom the same way. Number 4, we need to love Mom with appreciation. Now, this is gratitude, thankful recognition, the act of estimating the qualities of things and giving them their proper value. There's nothing more valuable in this world to a mother than her children. She knows how to appreciate what she has. And you can look throughout all of nature, and the vast majority of God's creation will show you that mothers care for their young, and mothers appreciate their young, and mothers will fight tooth, nail, claw, and any other method that they have to fight for their young. They appreciate the value of what they have. Well, this is very easy, isn't it? As children, there is nothing more valuable that we have than our mother taking care of us. As husbands, there isn't anything more valuable than a good wife that takes care of our children. These are things that we need to appreciate, and we need to show appreciation for and value the way that they should be valued. By the way, we all make mistakes. By the way, we all have hiccups along the road. I hesitate to say this because I have siblings that will throw rocks at me, but my mama's not perfect. She's almost perfect. But she's made mistakes. My wife, who is the closest thing to perfect that you could find in a wife, is not perfect. And just the way they appreciate and forgive us, we should appreciate right back and forgive them. Hey, listen, if you've got hard feelings towards your mom and you're not speaking to your mom, let me encourage you today. You need to get that fixed. You need to get that right. You need to appreciate what you have and apply Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 32. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. We need to appreciate mom. We know we won't always have her with us. So how do we love mom? With affirmation, with affection, with attention, with appreciation, the same way she loves us. And finally this morning, if I could spit one more out at you before we close, how do we love mom? Probably the most important one, and the most important way that mom shows her love and affection towards us is the most important way we can show our love and affection towards mom. You have affirmation, affection, attention, and appreciation. And then you have to love with action. Action is something done or performed. It's an act. It's a deed. There is nothing in this world that a mother is not capable of doing for her children. There just isn't anything, any obstacle, any danger to be confronted. There is nothing on the planet that a mother is not capable of doing for her children. My dad told a story growing up, and I believe his dad told a story growing up, of the little chicken. And this chicken had a whole bunch of little bitty chicks, and one day there was a fire in the barn. The farmer goes out, and the barn is completely crispy. Everything is gone. Everything is burned up, and there's just absolutely nothing left. But he hears this little sound of these little chicks. And he can't figure out where it's coming from, and he looks and he looks and he looks, and finally he sees the body of the dead mother hen. And he goes and he looks, and that mother hen had her wings spread out, and she had pulled all of her chicks to her, and she had covered her chicks with her wings. And the fire got to her, and the fire killed her, but she was able to protect those little chicks. And the farmer pulled that body and moved it away, and every single one of those chicks was just a chirping and a running around, because there's nothing that a mother can't do for her children. You see, if you don't listen to anything I've said this morning, and everything else just kind of goes in one ear and out the other, husbands, children, if you'll just listen to this one thing. Don't tell mom you love her. Show mom that you love her. That carries much more weight than just words. By the way, 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18 says, "My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth." I like to word it this way: love mom on purpose. I played this morning, Count Your Blessings. With the thought of everything that I've just said, I read for you the lyrics. When upon life's billows you are tempest-tossed, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Are you ever burdened with a load of care? Does the cross seem heavy you are called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings. See what God has done. On this Mother's Day, I know that we all have many blessings that we can count. I know life is difficult. I know we want to be in church. I know that there are circumstances that make it so that we can't do and see and go and accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. But at the same time, and in the same vein, may I submit to you, on this Mother's Day, we can count our blessings. We can count our children. We can count our mothers. We can count our wives and count the blessings that God has provided to us. And if you're out there and you say, my mother's passed away, or my spouse has passed away, and you're hurting this morning, and that there's an issue there, weren't you blessed to have what you had while you had it? What a blessing. Father, this morning we're thankful. And we so appreciate and love and admire the example you've given us on this earth, that is Mom. And we pray, Father, that you help us to take that example and love her right back the way she loves us. Father, help us to count our blessings and to understand that even though times are hard and even though things get difficult, the blessings that you send our way far outweigh the problems that this life brings. Pray that you help us today as we go out and celebrate Mom to take into account those that are hurting and those that are suffering, and to remember them this morning as well. We thank you for everything that you do, and we thank you for your great many blessings that you've provided for us. In Jesus'